Once upon a time, Supreme released their signature brick, and I bought one, because I'm a rebel, and I don't play by the rules. Welcome to Deep Thoughts While Gaming. I'm Chris Chappell. Exit Through the Gift Shop is a name given to one of acclaimed artist Banksy's documentaries, giving a chuckle and a wink to consumerism's involvement in art, highlighting not only the sarcastic and rebellious spirit of the artist, who destroyed his own art at an auction, but also created an image that conveys a sense of irony. Exiting Through the Gift Shop highlights that whatever bombastic message or grand expression artists try to convey, it's often overshadowed as still being part of a system of economic incentives, corrupt and degrading the meaning of the art as it becomes a product, or as William Shakespeare would say, full of sound and fury signifying nothing. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League kind of feels like that. There's something to be said about the death of heroes in the modern day. What is the symbolic significance of Superman, the symbol of the American way, becoming corrupted and having to be shot out of the sky? How does that connect with actions people take today, such as removing statues of not only Confederate generals, but also American presidents? And when Superman dies, who really is left to replace him? However, with the game at times feeling as shallow as a bathtub, in terms of accurately utilizing the lore of their own franchise, it's hard for us to know if these game developers actually wanted to create a good game or just had that gift shop in mind. But first, in consideration of us being a philosophy channel and wanting to give our fans what they crave, Evil Batman. That's right, Evil Batman, the former symbol of the anti-hero and the original counter to Superman's image. One of them building a cave under their mansion, the other being powered by the sun, now part of the problem along with evil Superman. You'll have to work with your ragtag group of hardened murderers, all clinically insane to save the world, upholding the values of, oh no, probably not that one either. They inject a bomb in your head and force you to do it. It's all funded by the government. Just go with it. Gotham City is in the US, so upon release, each convict is given a gun, a bus pass, and some other tools to help traverse the city. Each bullet infused with American blood, sweat, and tears, strong enough to kill even Superman. And getting stabbed in the chest with kryptonite just won't do it. And enough plot armor to go to war, which will be helpful as the Suicide Squad kills everything we've ever known and loved, especially Evil Batman, who the internet is particularly upset about. This is the Batman from Arkham Asylum, the same Batman that defeated all of the members of the Suicide Squad multiple times before. And in this game, he has Scarecrow-like superpowers. But still, with the power of the AR-15, he's easily dispatched by your group of one trained assassin, one clown, one shark-inspired furry, and an average Australian man. Evil Batman is unceremoniously shot dead on a park bench. The theme of heroes and villains dying in ways that feel demeaning to their character is consistent throughout this game. And between Superman basically being an easy fight and the Flash not being faster than bullets, you'll feel like you're fighting straw man versions of who these characters should actually be. It's all very colorful and it does feel like a lot is happening, but it definitely leaves you with the feeling of, really though? And certainly feels like it does a disservice to these characters, especially considering when the answer to every problem is more guns and more colorful lights. In the same way that the gameplay does a disservice to these characters, and therefore to us as fans of these characters, so does the moral messaging around killing these heroes. There's nothing wrong with attacking old ideals. In fact, Batman can be seen as a counter to Superman's more traditional views on morality, constantly attacking his view of the world. However, there is something wrong with destruction for its own sake. And if you want to comment on things like long-standing values and traditions, you should probably approach it with more than a "shut up, mom" attitude. Maybe there's a reason that the bad guy in The Last Jedi is the one who states, "Let the past die. Kill it if you have to." If we were to say that evil Superman represents a government that has become tyrannical, like we would argue some governments today have, we can understand how shooting them out of the sky, so to speak, can be seen as a good thing. And acknowledging and addressing old values and institutions that have lost their way, lied to us, or in one way or another become corrupt, is a good thing to do. But if Superman and Batman and the Flash are all gone, if they were all corrupted, then is the Suicide Squad really what the heroes of tomorrow look like? A bunch of narcissists continuously trying to piss on old ideals? Sometimes literally? Are the heroes of the past really so cheap? And who really ends up in charge once there's a power change? Is disrespecting and ultimately killing our ideas associated with past heroes really the way forward? We should be cautious about what Marx called the forcible overthrow of all pre-existing social conditions. During the 1960s, while the hippie movement was at its peak, leading a cultural revolution to challenge traditional American values and norms, China's communist leader, Chairman Mao Zedong, launched his very own cultural revolution in China, targeting what he called the four olds: old ideas, old culture, old customs, and old habits. The result was the wholesale destruction of 5,000 years of Chinese culture, and a death toll reaching potentially in the millions. All the heroes of China's traditional culture were now bad, and only the communist future awaited. To exemplify the point, there's value in possibly removing some Confederate statues, as statues of other great men who also did evil things have been removed, and we're okay with that. But when you start removing statues of Lincoln and Washington without anything to fill the cultural gap left by erasing these figures, you're ultimately acting against your own self-interest and the interests of people who want to have a stable society. The anti-hero of the past, Batman, stood for something. He wasn't forced into action by the government actors. He wasn't a nihilist simply saying everything that came before was wrong. He was, in a sense, a true revolutionary, fighting to change the system, not simply destroy it. Whereas the anti-heroes of the Suicide Squad are ultimately dispassionate when it comes to these considerations. They don't care about the moral implications of their actions. They're solely playthings of those with power over them, laughing all the while, disgracing people who, although not perfect, actually created change. Sarcasm about how broken everything is fine, but it isn't a replacement for the sort of values we need to actually progress as a society. Without deeper considerations about our future morals, we're going to end up shooting down everything we used to aspire towards, and leaving our new vision of the future up to people who put the bombs in our head. George Washington had slaves. MLK was an alcoholic who beat his wife. Thomas Jefferson impregnated his slaves. Rumors exist of Gandhi sleeping with his niece. Mother Teresa was pushing an anti-contraception view in a poverty-stricken slum. Superman had a superiority complex, and Batman was a high-level stalker. These game developers added microtransactions to a game that reuses an earlier boss fight as the final boss fight. Everyone's legacy can be destroyed. The question is, should it be? Well-known Canadian author Naomi Klein says, "In the consumerist landscape of today, rebellion is just another commodity." And we ask that our viewers consider this next time they throw stones at the past. Even with your $200 Doc Martens, $100 studded jacket, and $100 mohawk are part of the system you try to revolt against. And seeing every Superman as a Homelander is not the solution. In the same way that this game markets itself as counterculture and then sells the deluxe edition for $100 without giving you all the outfits, the rebellious spirit of today tends to kind of feel the same. All bark and no bite. Everything is broken. Everything is wrong. And I don't care what comes after the fall of Rome. Kindly step over Superman's corpse, follow the flashing lights as you exit the building, and please be sure to stop by our gift shop. We're selling Anarchy shirts, 2 for 1. Thank you for watching Deep Thoughts While Gaming. And remember, if you go carrying pictures of Chairman Mao, you ain't gonna make it with anyone anyhow. Deep Thoughts While Gaming is only possible because of rebels like you, who hit that join button. You'll be rewarded with exclusive emojis, a Discord server, live streams, videos, and the knowledge that you're cool and edgy and part of the counterculture. And check out this video that YouTube's algorithm thinks you'll like, because your individual likes and dislikes are just data to Google.